Ryan, I know that you like Tesla, and I know that you like IGN. I hope you'd like IGN given you working there. So the build that we're doing is very Tesla / IGN themed. Black and red is the predominant color in this. I am super stoked at what we were able to put together. Number one, I will say because of the timing of your build, we were able to overdrive what you got from a parts perspective, because I would say that the build that you have, if you go and you look at it, and you'll see the link if you're over in YouTube or whatever it was, the build that you have, pricing it all out now is $2,000 pre-tax. And I was able to get it for your budget, which was $1,670. So just, you had like that like ideal time with things like Phanteks sale and all those other ones that we were able to pull it together. And you are basically getting like, what is, I'd say, after tax and everything, probably about a $2,200 PC for about $1,700, which is awesome. So I'm stoked about it, and it's going to look c'est magnifique, might I add to that. So let's talk through the parts. Starting at the very top, we're using the ASRock Phantom Gaming B550 PG Velocita? I don't know. I asked ASRock what this is actually called. Nice, massive B550 motherboard. I liked the appeal of this, and you know, trying to get something a little bit less expensive. It's showing $219 on here. It's actually a little bit less than that. I think I ended up getting for like $165. This one right here, the Velocita, is, remember, it's B550. Differences between B550 and X570 is that you're getting PCIe Gen 4 only on the top slot and only on the by 16 slot for your graphics card. So not all of your slots are gonna be PCIe Gen 4. But what he does get is he gets a lot of extra additional benefits, given that this is a higher end B550 board than if I would have spent the same amount of money on an X570 board. So it's kind of like that nice compromise in between. Again, looking for that black silver, and then we're gonna do kind of the red stuff in between, but we got lots of nice RGB here. In terms of the overall look. We'll show this obviously a little bit better when we get in there, but we're gonna be able to do this in all red. It's got all that red and black. I was looking again, very Tesla IGN colors there, and he has the option of turning you know, as much RGB on as he possibly wants. But I think this is gonna be a very good looking motherboard, and it gives us an opportunity to look at something new as well, which I think is gonna be great. Case will show off a little bit later. I do wanna give a big shout out to Phanteks then on this, because we actually got the Phanteks P600s, which is the case we got, but we got the one without the tempered glass. I did reach out to Phanteks because the one that does have tempered glass is actually back ordered for like 30 days, 10 to 20 days. So Phanteks hooked me up and is actually mailing me a tempered glass side panel, which will be here on Monday, which is perfect timing for us to take the c'est magnifique photos of the PC and then get it off to Ryan on Tuesday. So thank you very much, Phanteks, for hooking us up on that. This is why I love you and why I love your cases. For CPU, we're using the Ryzen 7 3700X. This is an 8-core, 16-thread, absolutely beast. It's like that perfect kind of in-between CPU between the 36 and the 3900X. And it's just ridiculously priced. You know, it's 3.6 gigahertz, 4.4 gigahertz boost clock. It's great for gaming, great for anything else that he chooses to basically want to do. I know one of the big things for him is just being able to play PC games, like anything that's coming Cyberpunk. You know, if he's going to play Horizon Zero Dawn, any of those ones at full fidelity, this is going to unlock his ability to do so. And at 1440p, because he got a new 1440p monitor, right, Ryan? I think that's what we ended up getting you. For storage, we're going good old Seagate there. I know we're giving away a Western Digital, but we're going Seagate for this. We'll show these two things in here right now. We're doing a 1 terabyte Seagate M.2 drive. So this is 1 terabyte, it's their Fire CUDA. We're getting 3460 megabits per second, which is more than enough for anything he's gonna do from a game standpoint and just in terms of IO. And then we're using Triton's Royal Z. He wanted 32 gigs. This is one of those things that we ended up having a discussion about over DMs, just in terms of, he's like, hey, I was gonna get 16, maybe I should do 32. So we paid a little bit extra to make sure he could do 32. And then this is at 3600 megahertz, which is that ideal timing for Ryzen. And then it's CL 16, 19, 19. So pretty good timings. I mean, it's nice Castlake timing being at 16, so it's gonna be nice, good speed. We overclock his RAM. GPU, love this card. The Aorus RTX, GeForce RTX 2070 Super. This card, I just love the way it looks. It's got good overclock potential, and you know, in terms of RGB options, you really can't get a whole lot better than this. These are very, very hard to get. They're one of those things that are going in there. Now, rumor is, and this hasn't been confirmed by NVIDIA, but NVIDIA has stopped selling its 2000 series, the high-end 2000 series. They're not making any more 2000 series NVIDIA GPUs. So 2070 Super, 2080 Super, 2080 Ti are all gonna be discontinued. What is basically essentially available in the marketplace is what you get. It just means that prices are going to be really start to skyrocket, especially because inventory is going to drop. And then with inventory dropping, everybody's preparing to find out kind of what's gonna happen with the 3070, 3080, 3090. We are on the edge, guys. We are on the edge of next gen GPUs, which will, when you think about the teraflop power of like the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, that's the equivalent of a 2080 Super. So when you think about the kind of jump that we're expecting, which is 35% between a 2080 Ti and a 3080 Ti, and not including the 3090, which is the equivalent of a Titan X, we're looking at a pretty significant jump from a GPU standpoint when we get ready for the next gen consoles and stuff like that. So, and then of course, a couple other little small parts we always like to cover. We've got our 750 watt GA from EVGA. Absolutely like these things. I ordered like just a ton of them when they were on sale, so I got a bunch of these. These are good power supplies. We've used them a bunch. A lot of people have complained about noise. I haven't had any of those issues. We've used like 6 of them. Consider myself somewhat of an expert when it comes to the 750 GA. And then of course for sleeve cables, we're using the Asia Horse. Love the way these look. These are gonna be in red just to kind of finish out our theme. In terms of RGB fans and stuff like that, unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a bunch of RGB fans for him. So all the fans we'll have in here are gonna be black, but I think that's okay. I don't know where he sits on RGB. I feel like I gave him the proper balance between, you know, with the GPU and the motherboard and everything else and the RAM, he's still gonna have quite a bit of, you know, it'll run at 200% normal speed because of the RGB instead of 17,000% when you have everything at RGB. So what do you guys think? Just real quick, we've gone through the parts. Let me know. What do you guys think of the parts? What do you guys think of the build? Anything you would have changed? I think for the price, for $1,700 for what he got, I think this is going to be a pretty super solid build. Cooling is, we're using the stock cooler. Was not able to do, again, I didn't like, again, I focused mostly on power. So stock cooler for this one. There's like lots of packaging in this. When you look at this, look at all this fancy packaging. They really did this. You got so many books, but all we care about is right there at the bottom. So that's called garbage or recycle, because we are responsible. When you get ASRock does a really good job of the packaging for their M.2 drive, I mean for their motherboard. So when you take this out, which I think this is going to look incredible. Oh, that looks so good. That is, I cannot think of a more perfect, like really honestly probably cannot think of a more perfect Tesla/IGN style motherboard than that. It's almost like IGN and Tesla got together and said, hey, ASRock, do you want to design us a motherboard that will look perfect for, in case anybody wants to do a build? And they're like, oh yeah, here we go, black and red. Yeah, but one thing that's nice about ASRock is that they do a really good job of packaging their motherboard. So you just snap all these like so, because they want to make sure they're like nice and secure. So, okay, so we'll go through a tour of the motherboard here in just a second, just to kind of cover what we have in here. This is a little bit more of a loaded B550 board, but before they do that, let's go ahead and do a couple little peels here. You guys ready? Is this Henry Cavill level? Probably not. There we go. And then we'll peel this one right here. Unlike, there we go right there, and done. And then we also have right here. Oh, there we go. Maximum peelage. The motherboard is prepared. There's actually, like you can't see it, but there is actually some logoage down here in the bottom that you can't see, but it actually looks pretty sweet. Okay, so let's go on a quick tour of the motherboard. You guys ready for your tour? Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Robeytech. Today we're going to be taking you on a tour of this B550 motherboard. Up here in the top left corner, these are your EPS power connectors. We've got a 4-pin and an 8-pin. We're only going to be using the 8-pin. The 4-pin is if you're going to do something like LN cooling. There are cases in certain circumstances where your PC will not turn on if you do not plug in the 4-pin. Let's hope that's not this case, because that's going to be annoying. Up here in the top right, we've actually got 1, 2, 3 fan headers. One of these is for CPU, the other one is looking for AIO, and then we've got another sys header. Right here in the top right, we've actually got, ladies and gentlemen, this is rare. We've got 2 RGB headers. One is addressable and one is a typical non-addressable RGB header. This is your AM4 socket right here. This is where we're gonna stick your CPU. If you try and stick it anywhere else, your PC is not gonna work, and that's gonna be sad. These are your brackets, where in some cases you're gonna keep these on, but because we're using the stock cooler, we're gonna be using these. Right here, this is your memory modules. This is where we're gonna we can put 4. We're gonna be sticking them because we're gonna fill all 4 slots. Not a big deal, but if you only have 2, you have to refer to your motherboard manual. And remember, even Henry Cavill reads manuals. You're gonna be sticking in A2 and B2 if you've only got 2 slots, and that's to activate dual channel memory. Over here, this is your your ATX power supply. This is what's gonna power your motherboard. This is your USB-C right here, USB 3. You've got 6 SATA headers. You've got a digital readout. This right here will tell you things like the temperature of your motherboard. If you have an error code, these things are always nice. So if Ryan calls me and says, hey, Robey, my PC doesn't work, I say, too bad. No, I'm just kidding. I actually ask him what's happening on here and he tells me. Front panel connectors, these are external power and reset buttons, which is kind of nice if you're gonna use something on like, you're gonna bench test it. These are USB 2, a couple more fan headers, a couple more RGB headers, and over here on the left is your HD audio. You've got your by 16, by 8, and 2 by 1 PCIe, your PCI things, and then you've got M.2 and M.2. And they're armored, which means they are defensible, which means these are going to be very tough boss fights for us as we basically fight through this. Anyway, that is your tour. Was that a fun tour? Did everybody feel like they learned so much? So let's get our CPU installed, ladies and gentlemen. You guys ready? Let's get our handy dandy knife out. Here it goes. Don't cut yourself on the handy dandy knife. Oh, the serrated knives cut through that like butter, like butter. There we go, guys. So there, we're gonna need 2 things out of this. There's our stock cooler. Okay, and there's our CPU right there. Okay, so first thing you're gonna do when you're installing a CPU, okay, so we're gonna open this up like so. This is our AMD Ryzen 3700X right there. 3700X. If you're Henry Cavill, you try and install it this way, which is a no-no. Don't be like Henry Cavill. These pins are actually very delicate. And they're actually on the bottom, right here in the bottom left is a little gold arrow, and that little gold arrow lines with a little arrow on the bottom there. He did not see the instructions for that one. One thing about the pins, don't lick them. Don't pet your hamster with them. Don't attack a chupacabra. Don't try to stab a million pygmies. These are all things that are just not a good idea to do with your, your $300 CPU. When you're gonna put this in there, you're just gonna lightly drop it in. Remember, this actually goes horizontal. I think that's the part that got Henry Cavill. It actually goes vertical, not horizontal, which is like Intel. It goes vertical, and that's your thing. All you got to do is you're gonna push down this little thing like that, or if you're Henry, sorry, I got to do it like Henry, like just smooth. Oh baby, yeah, just like that. And then you just kind of click it in, and there you go. CPU's installed. It's real, and unfortunately nothing's broken there. So okay, here we go. We're gonna put in our RAM like so. This RAM, not as big of a deal. We actually, because we're gonna be doing all 4. You can see right here, there's a little slot in the PCB. And you want to basically line this little slot up. One of the things that I find that helps when you install RAM is to make jet sounds. So, and then you come in, it's like coming in for a landing. Whoa, God. And then you just pop it in like, oh, come on, get in there. Like that. Ugh. But you hold on to it tighter and then you just drop it in. Yeah, make sure you get them in the slots. That's a critical part. Oh, there we go. G-Skill all in there. It looks good. We'll do the full loop-de-loop, and then we'll come around and get that installed like that. Nice solid click there. And then, okay, let's install our cooler. So get our cooler out. And this is the Wraith Prism. It's going to be absolutely great. Okay, so remember, this has already got the pre-applied thermal paste in the dotted design. Do not try and play connect the dots. This is not like a game where you want to connect the dots like, oh, I made a monkey. Like, that's not a thing you want to do here. This is the thermal paste. It's like in that nice hexagonal, which is like every video game ever. I think this was inspired by Deus Ex. So when you install these, the way that you want to do is you usually do it with, this is the fan. This fan is going to go in your CPU fan header, which is right up here at the top. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put it down. There's 2 little clips. There's a clip here, there's a clip on the other side, and then there's 2 little clips here and here. These are basically gonna go over these little notches. So yeah, you just go like that, put it over the notch like so. People are like, oh, we're teaching Robey. Well, that's great. If you're not learning your whole life, then what's the point? And you just gotta do some little finagling. There we go, okay, got that one. We're gonna bring this one over. Just gotta get this down and over. There we go. Okay, so once it's in like that, what you're gonna do is there's this little thing here. It's a little lever. It's like a lever for for a trap. So basically pull it all the way up. And then there you go, it's locked in, and now your thing is good to go. And it can be a little bit tough, don't be afraid. There we go, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go and take this and click it in like that. Grab a little bit of zip tie here, some zip tie action. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna zip tie and hide this away. Okay, nice and hidden so it's not, nobody can see it. And you're in. So there's two connectors here. You've got one, this is actually for using addressable RGB. My recommendation, don't use that. Use this one, this is for your USB. We will see, this may not actually go all the way across. We might actually hide this and have this go down the bottom. This is not the longest cable in the world, which is always unfortunate. Down at the bottom here, you'll actually see there's a couple connectors. We wanna actually do the smallest one, which is right here on the right. So you just wanna pull this out like so. Put that down, and then this little connector here goes inside of it like that, and it just plugs right in. And there you go. Now you can change your RGB and all that stuff for your cooler. And we run it up the top. We'll have to see if that actually works. There you go. Cooler's installed. Let's install our M.2 drive. Actually, whoop. Grab that screw. Good. There we go. Okay. Next up, we're gonna grab our M.2 drive. Ching, fa-ching. It's like fa-ching. So this is our Fire CUDA drive right here. The way this works is there's a little slot in the PCB, that little slot right there. And there's a little slot right here in the M.2 drive. The way that it kind of works is you just kind of plug it in like this. And then it actually bounces like a diving board. You can jump on it. It's like do 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 do, and like jumps off the. No, that's a little big. That looked dumb. So I apologize. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and peel our stuff down here. I've actually started working on PC dad jokes because I think we need more PC dad jokes. Like, why was the CPU broke? Because he cleared his cache and he ran out of resources. Okay, that was okay. I thought it was hilarious. Okay, there we go. Wow, look at this. I don't know if you saw this. Check this out. I'll show it to you here in a minute. I'm almost done here with this motherboard. But over on the right, on the left, it actually has like a logo. M.2's installed. Okay, we'll zoom out a little bit. Check this out. Up here, look at what this says. It says fast, mysterious, unbeatable. Look at that. What does that even mean? Okay, motherboard is done, ladies and gentlemen. We can move on to getting the case prepped and going from there. Isn't this exciting? Okay, let's get our case up here and start stripping it down. Open up our accessories here. There we go. This is one of the things I love about Phanteks cases is they come with your little pre-sorted screw box. Ooh. She's hefty, but God, I love the paint job on this case. Now remember, this front panel here is actually going to be tempered glass, so that'll be here. So you will be able to see this. Easy case to kind of take apart. So this panel, I'll send him probably the second one, so in case he has like a backup one. Then we're just gonna take this off, just making it nice and light. Okay, we're just gonna strip the case all the way down to the bare essentials. I am gonna load this case up because I have so many Phanteks fans that I am gonna just give him some extra fans just so he has like maximum air power. Good, here's an excuse to give away some Phanteks fans. So we'll throw some additional fans so he gets lots of fans. Now remember, this case actually does come with two 140s in the front and a single 140 in the back. I think I have room. I'm actually gonna add another 140 to the bottom, so we'll get some down at the bottom, and I'll probably add a couple, I might add 2 more 140s. This does actually have the other thing that's nice about the P600 is that it actually includes a fan hub here at the top, so we can add some more fans. We're gonna add a couple more fans just to give them maximum airflow for maximum performance. We're gonna drop these down and just make this a little bit more airflow friendly. This will actually do 3 140 fans. But they're all twisted, tied up because we have that really amazing cable management power here in the back. Thank you, Phanteks. Adjusting his fans real quick, guys. It's nothing major. I'm gonna move this one down. Okay, one more fan after this. Little header right here. And then I'm gonna add one more fan near the front just to bring some more air in. There we go. Okay, there's that. Now we've got one more I wanna do. Okay, we're gonna do one more fan. It's just gonna pull in air from the bottom. Just to give the additional, just to suck down air for GPU cooling. I wanna push this a little bit further back from the, so I'm not pushing all the air. There we go. This will actually push a little bit of air, so it'll blow cold air down as well. That'll be good. And then we'll get our motherboard into the case now. Pull this up here. We'll have all of our fans ready to go. Nice and straightforward installation. Because it's like now that's like, you know, without the IO, it's always a fast build. Because like after this, like we go right from putting the motherboard in to hooking up our front panel connectors. And it goes pretty quick after that. Oh. Now we're just gonna replace this standoff. And now we put in our PC. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Start getting our motherboard screwed down. One screw in! It's a miracle! It's a miracle! We got one screw in! Oh my gosh! It wasn't even possible! Okay, we're getting another screw in. Guys, get ready. Oh, there it goes. Got another one in. Oh, there it is, another one installed. Another one. This is a difficult 10 out of 10 one right here. So much accomplished. There we go. 3 more to go. I'm not Henry Cavill, like it takes effort for me to turn this over. Okay, so this is the question. Yep, I was always afraid of. It's just not that long. So we'll run that through the front, that's fine. Okay, let's unlock these. These are all our front panel connectors that we're gonna do here. Let's actually run this up. That's gonna go up there. Front panel connector.
Get in there, get in there, get in there. Okay.
HD audio goes there. And we're gonna undo all these just because it's easier to do this way. Screw that, pull that back. This goes right here. There's that, one of our headers. We're gonna plug that in, 3-pin one. There you go. And then we have one more, 3-pin one. There you go.
Okay, time to get these all wound up there, man. Okay. Like this.
Okay, those are all of our fans all hooked up. Zip tie it in. So you just have those kind of controlled. There you go. This is gonna go right here. Okay. Okay, so there we go. All of our fans are kind of controlled and all plugged in. So there's a little nipple. See that little nipple? There's only one place to plug it in here. So you're just gonna go at a 90-degree angle, just like so. Just pop it in, nice and easy. USB-C is kind of the same way. You wanna go 90-degree angle. There's only one way it fits in. So if you're getting a lot of hard, it's difficult to push it in when you're doing it, then you're doing it wrong. So just take it back out and push it the other way. Undo that, because that's where our stuff is gonna go. Okay, so front panel connectors. We got reset switch, power switch, and power plus and minus. So the reset switch is gonna go on the second floor. I'll show you where this is when I'm done. It's gonna go right there, like that. Then we're gonna do our power plus and minus at the top, and power switch. Turn this from the side so you guys can see. This is always hard from a side angle, but because I'm a professional. I lied, I'm not a professional. Is that in the right? Oh, no, I had it. Oh, nailed it. Okay, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna run this all along the bottom down here. It'll be hidden by the graphics card. And then when you plug in USB, you can actually see there's actually a little, like a blocked pin. It only kind of goes in one way. And so the way this is gonna go is you're gonna make sure that blocked pin goes in the bottom right-hand corner and just push it in. Then your HD audio also pinned one way, only one way it can go in. So there you go. Now all of our front panel connectors, let me zoom in so I can show you where I plugged everything in. The only other thing we have is we have a little fan here. It's gonna go right here. And that is everything plugged into the PC. This is your front panel connectors. This is your power plus and minus. Power switch in the top and then reset switch underneath. You can check your manual for that stuff. Right here, this is your USB. This is the USB that controls the lighting. What I have is I have it down here, running all along the bottom, and then it's down beneath. And this is your HD audio right here. So that's all I really need. Then right here, this is our, up here at the top, like I showed you, this is your USB 3, and then this is your USB-C. And then what I'm gonna do real quick, I'm gonna grab this cable right here, shove it in this little hole. So what we're gonna do is in this top left, you have one more cable. This is your fan cable. Okay, here we go. It's a beautiful GPU. Absolutely love. Here it is. You guys ready? There we go right there, guys. Look at that GPU. I think this GPU looks, I mean, like, I love how these GPUs look. And it's like, there's so much lighting. There's so much lighting on this GPU as well. I was excited when I was able to get this, because like, this is one of the things for Ryan, like, I love how this GPU was, and like, to be able to get it for retail was actually a feat in and of itself. I'm excited that this is what we actually get to put inside of the PC. There we go. Getting that in there. Slip it in like so. It's gonna look really good in here. There we go. Now I'm not gonna drop the GPU. GPU is gonna be fine. So GPU's in now. There we go. Let's get our cables in here. This is when we're gonna add that little pop of color. This is to add the IGN. This is to add the IGN to his PC. 2070 Super is big and it looks so good. Look at those red cables. Oh, I know you guys saw, some people saw these yesterday, but I think this is gonna look so good. So there's a 4, that's your CPU. There's another 8-pin, there's a thing, and then these go in here. And then now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our one in the corner. And the cool thing about this is we got that cool, oh, I love this. One of my favorite things about this case. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's pull that down. Where we add those little bits of pops of color, which make all the difference in terms of how a case PC looks. There we go. There we go. There's our 2 red pops now. It's gonna look really good. There we go. Okay, next up is our 2, these are gonna be the last 2 cables, and then we put in the PSU. Okay, there's that one. And what we want to do is we just want to train it earlier. So we just want to make sure they're trained, because if you don't train them before, kind of wacky. Close that in there like that when we're done. Put one down below. There you go. That looks so good. That looks so good. Okay, guys, we're at near the end, doing the last bits of this stuff. We're at the very end of this build. So let's do a little bit of quick cable management just to make sure everything's kind of clear. And there's not a whole lot, because of how awesome this case is, not a whole lot of zip tying I need to do like I normally do, just because I can do most of it with these awesome Velcro ties that they've already given me for tie downs. We need to make sure we plug in our one SATA. This is going to go go. There we go. There we go. Nice and clean looking. Okay, last part of this will be the very end here. What I do, just because, and I know you won't need this, so. PSU time, guys. It's the last part of the build. Don't need that. Don't need that. Need that. Need that. There's SATA. Don't need that. There's a PSU thing. Don't need that. 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 Do need that. Oopsie. The only other thing we need is our PSU. Ah, the new PSU smell. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to put this on the right way. We're going to screw this. There we go. Here we go. This is ready. We got that in there. This is kind of awkward because the one thing that's not fun about these is like I love the things, but it's like easier to install them. So I'm sorry, it's kind of off in the bottom part of the frame. Okay, there we go. That one's installed. Putting the VGA one in, which goes into the VGA one here. There we go. Okay, starting this one in CPU 1. Last Saturday. SATA 1. Okay, here we go. Let's get this in. This is PC number 87. PC number 87 that we're going to complete tonight. Put this over here. We don't want to have as few cables as possible in the back here. What I'm going to do up here is I'm going to literally put this. So the only reason I'm going to put this one up like this, and there is a method behind my madness, is that I don't want to have any cables that dangle down below this little box here. It's just about keeping it all nice and clean. So it'll still get the power that I want, but it'll be hidden, which is important to me. Because I want to make sure when he turns on his PC, people are like, oh, sick, Ryan. That PC looks awesome. Who built that for you? And he'll be like, I did it myself. And I'll be like, that's cool. That's cool. He took credit for it. That's awesome. Not that he'd ever do that, but you know, if he did, I'd be okay with it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so there's that all cleaned up and ready to go. Let's pull this through because we don't want that in there. Next one is our power connector. One you want to have loose is this one. This one you want to have loose just so that we don't have any issues with if you need to move the cables to train them or whatever it was. You want to just make sure you have the room. Okay, let's push that down here so it's nice and ready and out of the way. Then the last cable, we got one more cable. This one goes up here. What I'm gonna do is run this right here. Make sure that runs in there and then it'll be clean. Last cable here. The last ones are GPUs. There we go. PC's done. That's it. Whole thing's done. Here we go. Done, guys. Dunsies. Dunsies. Does the PC work? That is the moment of truth. Okay, I'm gonna lift this like Henry Cavill.
Ooh. I make it look lighter than it actually is.
Oh, we got some wackiness there with one of the cables, but we'll fix that. There we go. This will actually push this back. You're just gonna get the little parts back together. There you go, our back is on. Okay, here we go, last bit. Turn it on, see what happens. Oh, I see RGB. I see RGB. I hear fans. And it's on. There it is. All the fans are spinning. Ooh, we get good amount of airflow out of that. That is for sure. I'm still waiting to see if we get a post. We're waiting for a post here. Oh, there it is. There's our post. Our post is there now. Okay, and let's hit reset on this. There, we want a 64-bit, which is right here. Now you guys are gonna watch the little Windows install. Who doesn't love Windows? Usually some of the best things we ever do, some of the best things we do are during Windows installs. Okay, starting that. Install. Okay, we're gonna say I don't have a product key because he's gonna get one. And then we're gonna choose Windows Pro. Next. I accept, next. We're gonna do custom. We're gonna do a new, apply, yes. Then we're gonna go ahead and hit next. And there it goes, starting Windows install. Yes. C, yes. Skip. Okay, Ryan, I'm just gonna make it Ryan. You'll be able to log in as yourself. No. Decline. Accept. Settings. Update, check for updates, there it goes. The other one I do is this one. Look at that, Halo 3. It's installing our cumulative update. Okay, that's all done, so there's all those updates are done. There it is, it's booted and all updated. We have a little bit left. We're gonna shut it down though. Ryan's had his moment in the sun. Ryan's PC is going away. We come back another day. We go put this away. Another PC completed. One arming it like Henry Cavill.